Welcome, welcome, welcome to all of you beautiful souls who are listening to us right now. My name is Sarah, and this is Slow English Learning, the podcast where we speak slowly, think clearly, and learn together without any stress or pressure. Today's episode is going to be really special because we're talking about something that touches every single person who's learning English. And that's the feeling of wanting to give up when things get hard, when you feel tired, when you think you're not making progress, or when other people make you feel bad about your English. But here's the important message I want you to remember from the very beginning. Don't give up until you're truly done. And you're only done when you reach your goal, not when you feel tired or discouraged. We're going to talk about motivation, persistence, believing in yourself, and how to keep going even when the journey feels difficult. And I promise you that by the end of this conversation, you'll feel stronger, more confident, and ready to continue your English learning journey with fresh energy and determination.
Hello, everyone. My name is John, and I'm so happy and honored to be here with Sarah today to talk about this important topic.
John, thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited about our conversation today because I think this topic is so important for learners.
I agree completely, Sarah. I think everyone who's learning something new has moments when they want to give up.
Oh, absolutely. It's such a common feeling. Have you ever felt like giving up when you were learning something difficult?
Yes, definitely. I remember when I was learning to play the guitar. There were so many times when I felt frustrated and wanted to quit.
Really? You play the guitar? I didn't know that.
Yes, I do now, but it took me a long time to learn, and there were many moments when I almost gave up.
But you didn't give up. You kept going. And that's the perfect example of what we're talking about today.
Exactly. And I'm so glad I continued because now I can play the guitar and it brings me so much joy.
That's beautiful. And I think our listeners can learn from your experience. Now, John, before we dive deeper into our topic, I want to take a moment to speak directly to everyone who's listening.
Yes, please do, Sarah. I think they really need to hear some encouraging words.
Thank you, John. My dear friends who are listening right now, I want you to know something very important. Learning English is not a sprint, it's a marathon. What I mean is that it's not a short, fast race. It's a long journey that takes time, patience, and dedication.
That's such a perfect way to explain it, Sarah. It's not about being fast or being perfect right away.
Exactly. It's about staying consistent, practicing regularly, and not giving up even when things feel hard.
And you know what else? Every single person who speaks English fluently today was once a beginner, just like you.
Yes, even native speakers were beginners when they were babies. They made mistakes. They said things incorrectly. They struggled to learn new words.
That's right. So if you're making mistakes right now, or if you're struggling with pronunciation or grammar, that's completely normal and expected.
Yes, mistakes are not failures. Mistakes are proof that you're trying, that you're learning, that you're growing.
Beautiful message. And if someone laughs at your English or makes fun of your accent, remember that kind, intelligent people will always encourage learners.
Absolutely. Someone who makes fun of a language learner is showing their own insecurity and lack of kindness. Don't let those people affect your confidence.
Exactly. Focus on the people who support you, encourage you, and celebrate your progress.
Yes. Now, John, let's start talking about our main topic. What does "don't give up" mean? Can you explain this in simple English?
Of course. Don't give up means don't stop trying, don't quit, don't abandon your goal. It means keep going even when things are difficult.
Perfect explanation. And the phrase "stop when you're done," what does that mean?
Stop when you're done means you should only stop when you've completed your goal or achieved what you wanted to achieve.
Exactly. So if your goal is to speak English fluently, you should only stop learning when you can speak English fluently, not when you feel tired or frustrated.
Right. You stop when you're done, not when you're tired. That's the important difference.
Yes. Now, John, why do you think people feel like giving up when they're learning English?
That's a good question. Let me think about this for a moment. I think there are several reasons. First, learning a language takes a long time, and people want quick results.
That's true. We live in a world where everything is fast. Fast food, fast internet, fast delivery. People expect learning to be fast too.
Exactly. But language learning doesn't work that way. It requires time, patience, and consistent practice.
Right. What are some other reasons people want to give up?
I think another reason is that people compare themselves to others. They see someone who speaks English better than them and they feel discouraged.
Oh, that's such a common problem. Comparison is really dangerous for motivation.
Yes, because everyone is on their own journey. Everyone starts from a different place and learns at a different speed.
Exactly. If you compare yourself to someone who's been learning English for 10 years and you've only been learning for 1 year, that's not fair to yourself.
Right, the only person you should compare yourself to is yourself yesterday, last week, or last month.
Beautiful perspective. What other reasons can make people want to give up?
I think fear of making mistakes is a big reason. People feel embarrassed when they say something wrong.
Yes, and that fear can be so powerful that it stops people from practicing, which means they don't improve.
Exactly. It becomes a negative cycle. They're afraid to make mistakes, so they don't practice, so they don't improve, so they feel more discouraged.
That's such an important point. We need to break that negative cycle. How can we do that?
I think we need to change our mindset about mistakes. Instead of seeing mistakes as failures, we should see them as learning opportunities.
Yes, every mistake teaches you something. Every mistake makes you stronger and smarter.
Exactly. When you make a mistake and someone corrects you, your brain remembers that correction much better than if you just read it in a book.
That's true. Mistakes are actually helpful for learning. They're not something to be ashamed of.
Right. Now, Sarah, I want to ask you something. Have you ever felt like giving up when you were learning something new?
Oh, yes, definitely. I've felt that way many times. Let me tell you a story about when I was learning to dance.
Oh, please share. I'd love to hear this story.
Okay, so a few years ago, I decided to take salsa dancing classes. I thought it would be fun and easy.
And was it easy?
No, it was so difficult. I couldn't remember the steps. I kept stepping on my partner's feet and I felt so embarrassed.
Oh no, that must have been frustrating.
It was. After 3 classes, I wanted to quit. I thought, I'm just not good at dancing. I should give up.
But you didn't give up, did you?
No, I didn't. I talked to my teacher and she said something that changed my perspective. She said, Sarah, you've only been dancing for 3 weeks. Most of my good dancers have been dancing for 3 years. Give yourself time.
Wow, what a wise teacher. That's such an important message.
Yes, her words really helped me understand that I was expecting too much from myself too soon.
So what did you do? Did you continue the classes?
Yes, I decided to keep going and I changed my expectations. Instead of expecting to be perfect, I just focused on enjoying the process and learning little by little.
That's wonderful. And did you improve?
Yes, after 6 months, I could dance much better. After 1 year, I was actually good at salsa. And now, 3 years later, I absolutely love dancing.
That's such an inspiring story, Sarah, and it's so relevant to learning English.
Exactly. If I had given up after 3 weeks because I wasn't perfect, I would have missed out on something I now love.
Yes, and the same is true for English. If learners give up too soon, they'll miss the joy of speaking English fluently.
Absolutely. Now, John, let's talk about practical strategies for not giving up. What advice can we give our listeners?
Great question. I think the first piece of advice is to set realistic goals and expectations.
Can you explain what you mean by realistic goals?
Sure, a realistic goal for a beginner might be, I want to learn 10 new words this week, or I want to practice speaking English for 15 minutes every day.
Those are good examples. They're specific and achievable.
Exactly. An unrealistic goal would be, I want to speak perfect English in 1 month. That's not possible.
Right. Unrealistic goals lead to disappointment and discouragement.
Yes, so it's better to set small, achievable goals that you can actually accomplish.
I love that advice. What's another strategy for not giving up?
I think celebrating small victories is really important. When you achieve something small, celebrate it.
Can you give examples of small victories?
Sure, a small victory could be understanding a conversation in English without subtitles, or successfully ordering food at a restaurant in English, or making a new friend and speaking with them in English.
Those are all wonderful examples. And you're right, we should celebrate these moments.
Yes, because these small victories add up over time and become big achievements.
Absolutely. What other strategies can help people stay motivated?
I think finding a learning community or a study partner is very helpful. When you learn with other people, you feel less alone.
That's so true. Learning with others makes the journey more enjoyable and less lonely.
Yes, you can encourage each other, practice together, and support each other when someone feels discouraged.
I love that. The community is so powerful. What else can help?
I think remembering your why is very important. Why did you start learning English in the first place?
Oh, that's an excellent point. Can you explain more about this?
Sure. Everyone has a reason for learning English. Maybe you want to get a better job, or travel to English-speaking countries, or communicate with friends from other countries.
Yes, those are all great reasons.
So when you feel like giving up, remember your why. Remember the reason you started this journey?
That's powerful advice. Your why can give you strength when you feel weak.
Exactly. For example, if your goal is to travel to the United States and speak with American people, imagine yourself having those conversations. Visualize your success.
I love that. Visualization can be very motivating. Now, John, let's talk about something important. What should people do when they have a bad day with their English learning?
That's a great question because everyone has bad days. Some days you'll feel like you're not making any progress at all.
Yes, those days can be really discouraging. So, what should people do?
First, I think it's important to accept that bad days are normal. They happen to everyone.
Yes, even advanced learners and native speakers have bad days with communication.
Exactly. So don't be too hard on yourself when you have a bad day.
What else should people do on bad days?
I think it's okay to take a short break if you need to. Rest for a day or two if you're feeling overwhelmed.
But the key word is short break, right? Not giving up completely.
Exactly. A short break can help you recharge and come back with fresh energy, but a long break might make it hard to start again.
That's an important distinction. A rest is not the same as quitting.
Right? And after your rest, come back and start again, even if you start small.
Yes, maybe just do 5 minutes of English practice after your break just to get back into the habit.
Exactly. The important thing is to continue not to be perfect.
Beautiful advice. Now let's talk about dealing with negative people. What should learners do if someone makes fun of their English?
Oh, this is so important. Unfortunately, some people are unkind and might laugh at learners.
Yes, and this can really hurt someone's confidence.
It can. So, first, I want to say this clearly. If someone laughs at your English, the problem is with them, not with you.
Absolutely. A kind, mature person would never make fun of someone who's learning.
Right, so don't let their unkindness affect your confidence or your goals.
What should someone do in that situation?
I think you can respond with confidence. You can say something like, I'm learning English and I'm proud of my progress.
Yes. Or you could say, everyone makes mistakes when learning. That's how we learn.
Exactly. Stand up for yourself with confidence and dignity.
And then, most importantly, continue learning and practicing. Don't let negative people stop you.
Yes, remember, successful people don't listen to critics. They focus on their goals and keep moving forward.
Beautiful message. Now, John, I want to talk about the difference between done and tired. This is at the heart of our topic today.
Yes, this is so important. Can you explain the difference?
Sure, tired means you feel exhausted. You feel like you need a break. You feel like you can't continue right now.
And done means you've completed your goal, you've achieved what you wanted to achieve, you've reached your destination.
Exactly. So many people stop when they're tired, but they should only stop when they're done.
Can you give an example of this?
Of course. Let's say someone is learning English because they want to work in an international company. After 1 year of study, they feel tired and frustrated.
Okay, so they feel tired. What should they do?
Well, if they stop at this point, they're stopping because they're tired, not because they're done. They haven't reached their goal yet.
Right. They wanted to work in an international company, but they can't do that yet because their English isn't good enough.
Exactly. So if they stop now, they'll never achieve their dream. They need to rest, recharge, and then continue.
And when should they stop?
They should stop only when they can speak English well enough to work in that international company. That's when they're done.
Perfect example. So the message is clear. Rest when you're tired, but don't quit until you're done.
Yes, you can take breaks, you can slow down, but don't give up on your goal.
I love this message. Now, Sarah, let's talk about something practical. How can learners track their progress so they can see they're actually improving?
Oh, that's such a good question. Tracking progress is really important because sometimes we don't notice our own improvement.
Exactly. We're with ourselves every day, so we don't see the gradual changes.
Right. So, what are some ways to track progress?
One way is to record yourself speaking English once a month. Then you can listen to your old recordings and hear how much you've improved.
That's an excellent idea. You might be surprised at how much better you sound after a few months.
Yes. Another way is to keep a learning journal where you write down new words you learn, conversations you have, or achievements you accomplish.
I love that. Writing things down makes them real and concrete.
Exactly. And when you feel discouraged, you can read your journal and see all the progress you've made.
That's wonderful. What other tracking methods can you suggest?
You could also take a practice test or assessment every 3 months to measure your level.
Yes, seeing your test scores improve over time can be very motivating.
Absolutely. And you could ask friends or teachers to give you feedback about your improvement.
Great idea. Sometimes other people notice our progress before we do.
Yes, so tracking progress in these different ways helps you see that you're actually improving even when you feel stuck.
Perfect. Now, John, let's give our listeners some daily practices that can help them stay consistent with their English learning.
Great idea. Consistency is so important. What daily practices do you recommend?
I think the first practice is very simple. Spend at least 15 minutes every day with English. It could be listening, speaking, reading, or writing.
15 minutes is very achievable. Everyone can find 15 minutes in their day.
Exactly. And 15 minutes every day is better than 2 hours once a week.
So true. Regular, consistent practice is more effective than occasional long study sessions.
Yes. What other daily practices do you recommend?
I think listening to English podcasts during daily activities is great. You can listen while cooking, exercising, or commuting.
Yes, that's called passive learning, and it's very helpful for improving listening skills and getting familiar with natural English.
Exactly. What else?
I recommend thinking in English for a few minutes each day. When you're doing everyday activities, try to describe them in English in your mind.
Oh, that's a clever technique. Can you give an example?
Sure. When you're making breakfast, think, I'm boiling water for tea, I'm putting bread in the toaster, I'm preparing my breakfast.
I see. So you're practicing English without even sitting down to study.
Exactly. It makes English part of your daily life, not just something you study at a desk.
I love that approach. What other daily practices can help?
I think speaking out loud is very important. Even if you're alone, practice speaking English out loud every day.
Yes, many learners only read and listen, but they don't practice speaking.
Right. And speaking is a skill that needs practice. You can't learn to speak by only reading and listening.
So true. You need to move your mouth, use your voice, and practice pronunciation.
Exactly. Even talking to yourself in English is valuable practice.
These are all excellent daily practices. Now, Sarah, I think we should start moving toward our conclusion. Should we give some final motivational messages?
Yes, I have so much I want to say to encourage our listeners.
Please go ahead. They need to hear your words of encouragement.
Thank you, John. Dear friends, I want you to look back at where you were when you first started learning English. Remember how little you knew back then?
That's a great exercise. Remembering where you started helps you see how far you've come.
Exactly. Maybe when you started, you only knew hello and goodbye. But now you're listening to this entire podcast in English and understanding it.
That's amazing progress. That's a real improvement.
Yes. And if you can understand this podcast, you've already achieved something significant. You should be proud of yourself.
Absolutely. And imagine where you'll be in 6 months if you continue learning consistently.
Yes. In 6 months, you could be having full conversations in English. In 1 year, you could be confident speaking with native speakers.
But only if you don't give up, only if you keep going.
Exactly. The only way to fail is to stop trying. If you keep going, you will succeed eventually.
That's a powerful truth. Success is not about being perfect or being fast. It's about persisting until you reach your goal.
Yes, some people reach their goals quickly, some people take longer, but everyone who persists will reach their goal eventually.
Beautiful message. Now, Sarah, let's remind our listeners about the main points of today's podcast.
Great idea. Let's review the key messages.
Okay, message number 1. Don't give up when things are hard. Hard times are temporary, but giving up is permanent.
Message number 2, stop only when you're done, not when you're tired. Rest when you need to, but continue your journey.
Message number 3, mistakes are normal and helpful. They're not failures, they're learning opportunities.
Message number 4, set realistic goals, celebrate small victories, and track your progress.
Message number 5, don't compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to yourself yesterday.
Message number 6, find a supportive community and ignore negative people who discourage you.
Message number 7, remember your why. Remember the reason you started learning English.
And message number 8, practice consistently every day, even if it's just 15 minutes.
These are all powerful messages that can help anyone stay motivated and persistent,
Yes. Now let's talk about subscribing to our channel.
Yes, if you found this podcast helpful and encouraging, please subscribe to Slow English Learning.
When you subscribe, you'll receive notifications every time we release a new episode, and we create new content every week.
Every week, we cover topics that help you improve your English and feel more confident.
We speak slowly, use simple vocabulary, and explain everything clearly so beginners can understand.
Our mission is to make English learning accessible, enjoyable, and encouraging for everyone.
So please click that subscribe button. It really helps us continue creating free content for you.
And if you know anyone else who's learning English, friends, family, classmates, colleagues, please share this podcast with them.
Yes, sharing is caring. Help others discover resources that can support their learning journey.
And please leave us a comment. Tell us your story. Are you feeling discouraged about learning English, or have you overcome challenges?
We read every comment and we love hearing from our listeners. Your stories inspire us and inspire other learners.
Yes, when you share your struggles and victories, you help create a supportive community.
Okay, John, I think it's time to give our final goodbye messages.
Yes, let's end with powerful, encouraging words.
Dear friends, I want to look you in the eyes right now, well, metaphorically, since this is audio, and tell you something important.
Please share. They need to hear this.
You are capable of learning English. You are strong enough, smart enough, and dedicated enough to reach your goals.
Yes, the fact that you're listening to this podcast proves you're serious about learning.
Exactly. You're not just wishing or hoping to learn English, you're taking action.
And taking action is what separates dreamers from achievers.
Yes, so keep taking action every single day. Even small actions lead to big results over time.
And remember, the journey might be long, but every step brings you closer to your goal.
Don't focus on how far you have to go. Focus on how far you've already come.
And when you feel like giving up, remember why you started. Remember your dreams, your goals, your vision for your future.
Yes, your future self is depending on your present self to keep going.
What a powerful thought. The choices you make today create your tomorrow.
Exactly. So choose to continue, choose to practice, choose to believe in yourself.
And remember, you're not alone on this journey. There are millions of English learners around the world, all working toward the same goal.
Yes, we're all in this together. We're all supporting each other.
And Sarah and I are here every week cheering for you, encouraging you, and providing resources to help you.
So don't give up. You're doing amazing. We believe in you completely.
Keep going, keep learning, keep growing.
And remember, stop only when you're done, not when you're tired.
Rest when you need to, but never ever give up on your dreams.
Okay, my dear friends, that's all for today's episode. Thank you so much for spending this time with us.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for learning. Thank you for not giving up.
Until next week, keep speaking English with confidence and courage.
Goodbye, everyone. Stay strong and keep believing in yourself.
Goodbye, beautiful learners. Remember, you can do this.